So I always wanted to be a YouTube partner or be a
Hmm.
YouTuber, in other
What
words.
what does that entail? What's
That
a YouTube partner?
entails a YouTube partner means that, well, right now it doesn't really, I always tell people don't focus so much on it now. At
Okay.
one point, that's what I focused on. But becoming just a YouTuber, regardless of your numbers, because a lot of people look at numbers.
Hmm.
When you start, it's so great for your business brand awareness, to grow your business, to drive organic leads to your business on a regular basis, to grow, to get sales, even if you're not a YouTube partner you could still make money using the platform. Now, once
Hmm.
you do become a YouTube partner, the reason why I love YouTube is that you get paid on the videos that you create. And I'll give you an example. My first year on YouTube, I believe I made about 5,000. The second year, 9. The third year, like 20, and the fourth year, 40,000. And that's
Wow.
just extra money that I make.
Exactly.
And and hopefully this year will be even more than 40. So that's what I mean by you to partner. However, you can still make money if you already have your own product, your own services, even though you're not are even though if you're not monetized. So don't focus so much on becoming YouTube partner, but focus on creating content catered to your target audience, and everything else will fall in place eventually.
Yeah, exactly. So
Mhm.
now focusing on the fact that, you want to make money using YouTube, but that would rather be, focusing on serving your audience, and that will just follow
Naturally
because you,
come. Yeah.
yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah, it's easy to kind of get hung up on, oh, I want to use YouTube to make that money, and but yeah, you've proven that, I mean, even just $5,000 a year for just putting out your content. I mean, that's great. Usually,
Yeah,
people don't pay you to put out your free content
depending on
anyway.
where you
So
live, depending
yeah,
on where you live or your situation, your financial situation, that can make a big impact in your life
absolutely.
as well. Mhm.
So, is there any difference in terms of, what type of content you create? Does that matter in terms of, how much you get paid per video, or the?
No, with YouTube, it's more based on, are you keeping people entertained, or if you're educating people, are you keeping people in the platform? Because
Mm,
ultimately, what YouTube wants is if the person watches the video all the way through, or at least 50% of the video, that's how you make money. There's a lot of channels that have
hmm.
larger following than me. I have a right now, I'm about to hit 98,000 subscribers, but there's channels that have, like when I did my review from last year, how much I made, I think I was at 75,000 and I made 40,000 for the year. And I know channels that have 130,000 and barely made 15,000 for the year.
Hmm.
So they have a lot of followers. So the follower count doesn't really matter. It's based on
Right.
your content and are people sticking all the way through, because you could create a whole bunch of videos and possibly grow fast, but if no one is watching your videos, then your revenue is going to be a lot less than someone that has videos that people are watching from the start to the end, or at least
Hmm.
50% of the video. So
Right.
it's more based on watch time and retention, and are people sticking around, than based on your subscriber count.
Makes sense. Absolutely.
Mhm.
And do you take that into account when you create the content that you put on YouTube? Do you like have like this, let's say, formula that, I need to go through these steps to make sure I keep keep the audience entertained?
Yeah, you always have to, once you create a lot of videos, I think one key thing to do is always look at your metrics, to see what's working and what's not working. If you're just creating a video and just throwing it out and hoping for the best, you might get lucky, but it's just better to look at what videos are performing. What did you do different in those videos that you could continue like doubling on those type of videos?
Hmm.
And I've learned a lot from, in the beginning of my intro was super long, so people were falling off, right?
Right.
So you learn that and you're like, okay, how can I shorten that? And then I learned, make your intro, like your hook, really interesting so people could stick around till the end. And not just that, focus on the value, not so much, don't worry about the quality so much of your video, but if you're providing a lot of value for your ideal customer, then they'll stick around. And I think the fourth thing I've learned is that playlists are very important or very critical. So
Okay.
if you have a video that goes with another video, kind of mentioning, watch this video next for the next steps, that increases your watch time and therefore you make more money as well when it comes to YouTube AdSense and getting, money from them. So,
Mm, yeah, good
but
points.
definitely always look at your data for sure.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, you've been doing YouTube for 4 years, and uh, I mean, just in those 4 years, I mean, a lot of change in terms of how important video is. I
Of
mean,
course.
I would almost dare to say that when you started out with YouTube, it wasn't that big of a deal, but now it's like you almost can't live without it.
I kind of agree with you. When I first started it, I started it because I always wanted to be a YouTuber. Even a couple years ago, I have done YouTube and I failed at it.
Hmm.
And this time around, I was like, okay, I know my niche. I'm gonna go to instead of being all over the place, I'm gonna niche down and I'm gonna just like, stay focused. And I knew YouTube was a good platform to grow brand awareness. But now that I look back, it was like probably the best investment I ever did or for my business because even though I'm an introvert and I don't like to be in video, and it was really difficult in the beginning for me, just taking those baby steps. If you go back to my old videos, um, I would say at least the first year and a half to 2 years, it was
Hmm.
all screen share. I never really show my face. All my thumbnails are none of my face. I just was it was just so in my brain, it was just so hard for me to even put myself out there. I didn't like the way I look. I didn't like the way I sound. I'm an introvert. I don't want to be on video. And now it's like video is everything. You have to like take the jump and do it if you want to grow. People connect more if
Hmm.
you are behind the screen talking to them through video than a static image. That doesn't work anymore. That used to work maybe 4 or 5 years ago. Now it's all video. And like you said, if you look at every single platform, including Facebook, Instagram, I mean, LinkedIn is doing stories now. It's crazy how it's just like evolving, and video is the future.
Hmm.
Video. And now ever since I started the video, it was just a big change for my audience. I remember if you go back to those old videos, you see in the comments people commenting, "Oh my God, I see your face. Oh my God, it's great to see you. Oh my God, finally we see your face." Because everybody was just so used to me just talking on the back end and
Hmm.
showing the screen. So when I realized, like, wow, like people are connecting with me even more now. They're liking the videos more. They're watching more. They're staying longer. And kind of my video started growing a little bit quicker when I started showing up. And that's when I was like, okay, I'm just gonna have to do it and just get comfortable. And obviously, the more you do it, the more comfortable you get over
Hmm.
time. But I totally agree with you. I knew video was important, but now it's just almost like, wow, like it's so important.
Yeah, exactly. And did you
Uh-huh.
feel like that shift was that when people saw you doing, face videos, that was like a shift for you to do more of it, but until
Yeah.
then you kind of held back because of it.
Yeah, I held back. Just, like everyone has their own insecurities.
Hmm.
For me, it's just being an introvert, being on video. I've never really put myself out there like that. Even before that, the 9 years that I did digital marketing. I grew companies. I grew Facebook groups to 200,000. I worked for Mercedes Benz. I did this, I did that. But I was always behind the scene to
Mm.
kind of put myself in front and be a personal brand. It was just like, oh my God, this is a lot. So, and then being an introvert didn't help, but what I could tell people is that was the best thing I could have done as soon as I saw the validation from people commenting and telling me, and my sales grew as well with my business. So not just YouTube, not just the monetization from YouTube, but also making money from my affiliate marketing, making money from my course and other areas. I realized like, oh wow, like you truly make a genuine connection when you
Hmm.
show up and you show up your face versus just like a screen share.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And I have to ask, have you had any negative experience with, finally showing up in the way you did?
Oh, of course. I think everyone talks about this. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm barely anyone, but you get trolls, you get
Hmm.
comments. The bigger you grow, the more you're gonna get. I just realized I think I'm a little bit older now. If I was younger, I probably would take it a lot harder. And it doesn't mean I don't struggle with it. I just realized that it's just so easy for people to leave negative comments. So you have one, either ignore them and delete them and block them and call it a day.
Hmm.
Two, if it's constructive feedback, try not to take it personal. Sometimes the constructive feedback will actually help you grow as a creator, as a YouTuber. So there's hate, right? And there's
Right.
constructive feedback. So you have to be able to kind of take your feelings off of it and be like, okay, is this a hate one? or is this like constructive feedback that I could learn from? And what I normally do is I protect my vibe. So I protect my energy basically. So
Mm.
if it's something, I always get like, you're overweight or you have an accent. I can't help my accent, right? I get like these little jabs. So if it's something that I feel like is said in a really bad way, I just block the person. I just don't deal with it. You have to protect your own brand as well, or
Hmm.
your business, whatever. So if you're the personal brand or you're behind the brand, and what you put out there is there forever. People take screenshot, they share it. So for me, I just don't engage with it. It's just not going to do anything good for me, for them, for other people to see. So it's just more important to just know that the more you grow, the more you will get. And I'm not the only one. I mean, I follow some huge creators and they get tons and tons of it as well. So it's pretty normal. But I think that was one of the biggest fear that many people have is that
Hmm.
they don't want to put themselves out there because they're scared of that. But for every mean comment, I get like 1,000 good comments, but we always focus on that one bad one
Yeah.
instead of focusing on the thousands of good ones. And that's where we need to put our energy on.